Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and UN Sustainable Development Goals 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns organized by, in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue today's session. Today, we are commemorating World Habitat Day with the theme Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind. So, this World Habitat Day, in short known as WHD 2022, under the theme Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind, looks at the problem of growing inequality and challenges in cities and human settlements. World Habitat Day seeks to draw attention to the growing inequalities and vulnerabilities that have been exacerbated by the Triple C crisis, COVID-19, climate, and conflict. So the pandemic and the recent conflicts have reversed years of progress made in fight against poverty, resulting in emergence of newly poor people, those who could have exited poverty in the absence of the pandemic, but remain poor, and those who have fallen into poverty on account of the pandemic. According to the UN Habitat's World Cities Report, the number of people affected was between 119 and 124 million in 2020 and between 143 and 163 million in 2021. Tackling urban poverty and inequality have become an urgent global priority. And cities and local governments play a frontline role in responding to crises and emergencies, as well as in planning for an inclusive, resilient, and green future. To prepare urban areas for future catastrophes, we need to start with cities. Thus, local action and local implementation of sustainable development goals is more important than ever. And as part of the World Habitat Day celebrations, UN Habitat presents its scroll of honor award, and the nominations are open for the Urban October. The United Nations designated the first Monday of October of every year as World Habitat Day to reflect on the state of our habitats and on the basic right of all to adequate shelter. The day is also intended to remind the world that we all have the power and responsibility to shape the future of our cities and towns. In 1955, the United Nations designated the first Monday of October every year as World Habitat Day. The idea is to reflect on the state of our towns and cities and the basic right of all to adequate shelter. It is also intended to remind the world of its collective responsibility for the future of human habitat. World Habitat Day was first celebrated in 1986 with the theme Shelter is My Right. Nairobi was the host city for the observation that year. Other previous themes have included Shelter for Homeless in 1987, New York, Shelter and Urbanization 1990, London, Future Cities 1997, Bonn, Safer Cities 1998, Dubai, Women in Urban Governance 2000, Jamaica, Cities Without Slums 2001, Fukuoka, Water and Sanitation for Cities 2003, Rio de Janeiro, Planning Our Urban Future 2009, Washington DC, Better City, Better Life 2010, Shanghai, China, and Cities and Climate Change 2011, Mexico. The Habitat Scroll of Honor Award was launched by the United Nations Human Settlements Program in 1918. It is currently the most prestigious human settlements award in the world. Its aim is to acknowledge initiatives which have been outstanding contributions in various fields such as shelter provision, highlighting the plights of homeless, leadership in post-conflict reconstruction, and developing and improving the human settlements and the quality of urban life. So the call for nominations for this year's award is open. Cities are responsible for 70% of global carbon dioxide emissions, with transport, buildings, energy, and waste management accounting for the bulk of urban emissions. By 2050, two-thirds of the global pollution will live in urban areas. Nearly 90% of the growth in urban population will occur in Asia and Africa. Accelerating urban action for a carbon-free world, UNDP Climate features the 5 Malaysian cities taking up an integrated approach to low carbon development. The strategic plan for 2020 and 2023 repositions UN Habitat as a major global entity, a center for excellence and innovation. In that respect, the organization is refocusing its niche position as the thought leader and go-to program for issues pertaining to work, settling the global discourse and agenda on sustainable urban development, driving political discussion, generating specialized and cutting-edge knowledge, shaping technical norms, principles and standards, and acting as a multiplier in exchange of knowledge, experience, and best practice in getting cities and other human settlements right. With this, we conclude this commemoration for the day, and we will move on to other commemorations. Just a second. Yeah, this week is we have commemorations for this week as well as today. Let's look at the week's commemoration. Today is this entire week from October 3rd to 9 in US. It is Active Aging Week. The International Council on Active Aging began the first Active Aging Week in 2003. The week is meant to celebrate how positive the progress of aging can truly be. Active Aging Week encourages adults over age of 50 to take advantage of all that life has to offer. The goal of this week is to promote wellness initiatives and get bodies up and moving. So in 2017, over 3,000 hosts, more than 3,000 host organizations are registered to participate in the Active Aging Week. And in 2003, first Active Aging Week, the ICAA launches the very first Active Aging Week. And 2001, ICAA was born, that is International Council on Active Aging, and began its work. The World Health Organization launched the Aging and Health Program with the goal of responding to the aging population. Aging and Health Program in 1995. In 1950, the National Social Welfare Assembly organized the first National Committee on Aging. And how we can contribute, we can host an event, Active Aging Week event like this, or become a registered host, where like this we can spread the word throughout our communities and share someone who have benefited from become actively involved in wellness initiatives that pertain to aging. If so, consider sharing their stories, or and others are sure to benefit from learning about the success or failures that make up so many different wellness journeys. And social medias are excellent way to bring awareness to important initiatives by discussing Active Aging Week on social media. You might also encourage someone to get out and start pursuing a healthier lifestyle. So about 75% of the older adults in the US are women, and women are more than men. And we lose, we have usually 350 different bones at birth. But as we ease into adulthood, these bones fuse together, and ultimately we end up with only 206 bones. So the oldest human recorded in the history, Jeanne Louise Calment, was born in France and lived up to 122 years old in Western context. But in Indian context, we have our ancient sages who are still alive since more than 5,000 years. So is staying active the foundation of youth? Research has found that staying active can slow down the aging process, and some studies have shown that we sweat less as we age. And Active Aging Week encourages older adults to get moving. For some other old adults who reside in assisted living communities or have mobility issues, just getting out and about can present a quite challenge. Active Aging Week highlights all of these different ways that someone can participate in simple exercise. There is truly something for everyone. Even on bed also we can do exercises, and we are much more likely to accomplish our goals if we have other people helping to keep us accountable and keep motivating. And Active Engaging Week helps bring communities of adults together to work a common wellness cause. Some groups have ever taken on year-long walking initiatives. So Australia, India, Ireland, Canada, and US all participate in Active Aging Week. And it's inspiring to think about such a large collection of people working towards a shared goal of active aging. Then we have Animal Welfare Week, October 3 to 9, 2022. Animal Welfare Week is observed every year from October 3rd to October 9th. Recently, a movie was released, by name 777 Charlie. Hope if you have watched it, it shows the compassion and how a person can be changed with the compassion towards animals, or for that matter, towards fellow beings. So it's a very good movie. You can watch it if you haven't watched it. There are many such movies, which really portrays, promote animal welfare and, compassion towards animals. So Animal Welfare Week is observed every year from October 3rd to October 9th to campaign for the support for animal rights. It focuses on promoting the humane treatment of all kinds of animals, including pets, farm animals, wildlife, and even those who are used for medical research and testing. Animal Welfare Week is observed to educate the masses on the cruel treatment of animals and to advocate for the rights. It is a week for spreading of message of kindness, justice, and protection for all living creatures. Humans and animals have had a strong relationship since prehistoric times. Some scientists believe that they had common ancestors millions of years ago, and there is even evidence of skeletons in Africa that have both human and animal characteristics. The majority of earlier known paintings are of animals. The prehistoric drawings in the caved caves of southern France are 29,700 to 32,400 years old, which makes them oldest known art in the world in Western context. Many drawings in the caves are of rhinoceros, lions, buffaloes, mammoths, and even horses. Scientists believe that human rights have been in awe of these animals and decided to paint them. It was in 1300 to 2500 BC, the humans started to domesticate animals. They domesticated dogs, cats, cattle, goats, horses, and sheep. Dogs were the first to be domesticated in 13,000 to 10,000 BC from its wolf-like ancestor Canis lupus. Evidence of cats near human settlements dates back to 8,000 BC, but it is not clear whether they were domesticated or whether wild cats were encouraged to live near humans. Cats were an important part of agricultural societies, and Egyptians are believed to be the first to domesticate them. They most likely raised kittens to protect the grains from rats. Over the years, this relationship with animals have grown stronger, and today humans fight for their rights. So, the first major law against animal cruelty uh, in Mashart's Bay Colony enacts a body of liberties which sets up the fundamental rights of the colonists and includes law which makes killing a farm animal without the owner's consent a capital crime in 1641. And in 1882, first anti-cruelty bill was sponsored by Richard Martin, a member of the British Parliament, that prohibits cruelty to cattle, horses, and sheep. In 1828, first law against animal cruelty is successfully passed in New York. In early 1950s, new organizations for animal welfare sees a rise in organizations for animal welfare resulting from excessive cruelty against animals due to modernization and scientific research. So Animal Welfare Day is celebrated every year on October 4th, that is tomorrow. But this entire week is Animal Welfare Week. And to raise awareness about animal rights, it falls on the feast day of the Francis of Assisi, who is a patron saint of animals. And we have a few other days, like Animal National Pet Day and Animal Day. Uh, National Pet Day is on April 11th, and the first Animal Day took place on March 25th, 1925 in Berlin, Germany. And similarly, we have a lot of days dedicated to animals. In last month and the last before month, that is August and September, we have commemorated various days dedicated to animals. And, just in this month also, we started yesterday also, we commemorated to entire week, and tomorrow is also a day dedicated to animals. So every month we have so many days dedicated to animals, commemorating various causes and issues that animals face, and avoid animals, for food and other purposes, like avoid products that harm animals also. Do some research to find out whether the products you use harm animals in any way. Do they test on animals in the manufacturing of the product? If yes, avoid these products as much as possible to protect innocent animals, and donate to any animal welfare NGO, and ever volunteer where you can uh, provide your time and money. You can save many animal lives by volunteering. And educate yourself, read up material on animal issues and spread the word. Find out about major industries that harm animals and ways you can protect their actions. And dogs, dogs can sense time, but they can't tell time, but they have their own perception of time and can remember past events. And cat whiskers contain a sensory organ called the pro proprioceptor, which helps cats communicate information about their surroundings to their nervous system. And dogs have unique nose points, just like how all the humans have unique fingerprints. Dogs have unique nose prints. So a staring dog is a loving dog. Looking into eyes is a means for dogs to show love and affection. But that should be only with the dog you are acquainted. If you stare into a dog which is not acquainted, it can invite you, uh, or you can invite it for a fight. So be careful, especially only when we are like when we look uh, into the eyes of our loved ones who are very well known, that has a different effect. But you stare at someone stranger, or someone going around, then it is quite annoying and it can disturb similar way. So be cautious. And Americans adopt a lot of shelter animals every year. Americans adopt over 3.2 million shelter animals. Here also, a lot of animals are adopted, but mostly they are dogs. And it spreads much needed awareness, and millions of people are still ignorant about the mistreatment of animals worldwide. And it is a great day to spread the information and unite the masses. And all animals deserve love and affection. And this is a day to celebrate our companions who has lived with us for centuries. And without animals, the ecosystem would collapse. A collapsed ecosystem will spell end of mankind as we know it. So already we are leading ourselves in a very fast pace toward destruction and the extinction of human species, as already many species are getting extinct and in the verge of extinction, and some became already endangered or in the process of endangering. So let's work for them, for their rights, for their animal welfare. And today, this week is also Back Care Awareness Week. It is October 3rd to 7th in United Kingdom. Back Care Awareness Week is celebrated every year, usually in October. This year it will be held from October 3rd to 7th and is organized in an attempt to raise awareness about back issues, as well as how to manage back pain. So what device you are using to read this? Are you laying in bed with your hand on the pillow, browsing mindlessly on your phone? I mean, not only reading by, not on, listening also, or viewing also for that matter. So are you hunched over your computer or barely a few inches from the screen? Or did you say yes to either of these questions, or no, or yes, or maybe, or not sure? Okay, assuming if it is yes, did you make an adjustments to your posture while reading or listening to the first few lines? If you did, then your back care awareness is for you. So you have taken care of your back, and that will reduce the back pain, that will prevent back pain. So you can also check ergonomics, which talks about the position and the infrastructure, furniture, which is best suited for the work based on the type of work and nature of work. So you can find something more suitable for your back. And back pain has existed since beginning of time. Almost all of us go through it at some point in our lives. It can range from a mid annoyance to a debilitating condition. This is why it's extremely important to address how we can better manage this pain and discomfort to lead a better quality of life. Back Cure Awareness Week was established by British charity called Back Care, which provides information and education in an attempt to prevent unnecessary back pain from happening in the first place. Prevention is always better than cure. However, the organization realizes the prevention is not always possible. So it also aims to help those with back problems heal or at least manage their discomfort. Back care also aims to provide practical as well as emotional support to people living with back pain, whether it is due to wear and tear, injury, musculoskeletal disorders such as scoliosis, spina bifida, and arthritis, or any other serious underlying health conditions like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, or cancer, or so Backcare was founded by a businessman and philanthropist called Stanley Grundy, who created the charity as a dedication to those living with back pain, regardless of the cause. He also wanted to educate the public on the ways of preventing back pain. Although everyone can benefit from learning how to manage, the week primarily focuses on raising awareness in adults aged 60 years and above, as many people suffer age-related lower back pain owing to various physical and psychosocial changes. So it may be serious if there is a sudden spike in pain or numbness, loss of bladder function, high fever, severe stomach pain, sudden weight loss, or if you have received a blow to your back, you might need to visit emergency room in this situation. So the strains and sprains are most common causes for this back pain. You can end up injuring muscles, tendons, or ligaments by lifting something too heavy or not lifting it safely. Sometimes people can also strain their backs by sneezing, coughing, twisting, or bending over. And you can fix your back pain by exercising, quitting smoking, sitting upright, moving around more, rubbing medicated creams, trying out over the counter medications, and maintaining a healthy weight. Topically, applying ice or heat to that area can bring a surprising level of pain relief. But remember, each treatment is different and works better under specific situations. So, how to prevent this back pain? Sit up straight and improve your posture. Fixing the way you sit and walk are simple things that can have dramatic effects on your back pain. Also, consider incorporating some lifestyle changes like getting a better chair or desk, or even getting a desk where you can stand and work. And get into weightlifting and exercising, as these can have huge positive impacts on getting rid of neck and back pain. Some exercises can strengthen your neck and back muscles to help elevate the pain, and visit a doctor to get checked for any underlying medical issues that may be causing the pain. In some cases, majority uh, and smoking often damages your spine, and by decreasing the blood flow and bone strength that your spine needs to stay strong. Uh, you may wonder how giraffes and humans have seven neck vertebrae. Given how tall giraffes are, this may come as a surprise. Both species, humans and giraffes, have seven neck vertebrae. And you may be taller in the morning than you were when you went to bed at night due to gravity. And people get taller in space. Astronauts are taller when they return to the Earth from space due to lack of gravity there. And it's extremely common. Around 80% of all Americans will have their back pain at some point in their lives. So we all are going to experience back pain at some point in our lives. So what's worse is that because of our increasing, you know, Because of increasing sedimentary lifestyles, people are dealing with it at a much younger age than before. So Back Care Awareness Week creates awareness and provides information on how we can deal with our back pain. It encourages people to learn more about dealing with and overcoming back issues. So learning more about your back pain may encourage you to visit a doctor. Although most people get some degree of back pain, chronic and debilitating pain may be sign of deeper underlying medical issue. So get frequent checkup. And this week, that is October 3rd to 10, is also celebrated as Irish Road Week, Road Safety Week in Ireland. Ireland holds Irish Road Safety Week annually in the first week of October. Even in India also we have similar celebration, and it takes place from 3rd to 10th. So this event was organized by the Road Safety Authority, RSA. An organization formed by the Irish government in 2006 to research and promote road safety. It begins with a road safety lecture that features experts on chosen theme for the year, and the other activities include in ancient times, roads originally carried all sorts of traffic indiscriminately from beasts to burden to pedestrians. In Rome, important people traversing crowded streets and alleys used minions to clear the way for their litters, like wheelless vehicles pulled by humans, carts, and chariots. This showed that the mighty preference not to trample the bystanders. The invention and use of powered vehicles in 19th century inspired the British road safety law to impose speed limits. There are also a requirement that a person on foot should carry Today, the road behavior and rules have been developed to prioritize certain types of traffic, and monitoring groups particularly lobbied for the priority of motorized traffic. Road safety laws moved children off the streets and showed pedestrians And apart from awareness campaigns, other measures to boost road safety worldwide include the Global Designing Cities initiatives by National Association of City Transportation Officials to help cities design environmentally sustainable roads. Such roads improve mobility and economic development while promoting a public health, safety, and quality of life. Another initiative is the World Bank's Global Road Safety Facility, which provides interest-free loans to low and middle income countries to help them execute affordable road safety programs. Around 1.3 million die every year on the world roads. So road accidents are the leading cause of death for children and young adults aged between 5 to 29 years worldwide. And the risk of dying is a road accident is 3 times higher in low income countries. And the risk of dying, as we mentioned, 3 times higher in low and low income countries. Road accidents in the US involved women 17 times more than men, as they are pedestrians or passive passengers in the vehicle most of the time. And wearing a seat belt effectively reduces death in road incident or accident by 61%. And this Road Safety Week promotes safer roads. Road safety benefits all road users, pedestrians, cyclists, bikers, and divers have a positive experience when the roads are. So with this, we conclude the commemoration of weeks, and we will move on to daily commemorations. Today is National Child Health Day. National Child Health Day in US is celebrated today. On first Monday of every October, where we show support for children's health, family, and those work hard to help them. Finally, income is a major factor in the health of children, both physically and mentally. And from there, Children from households below the poverty line have a higher obesity rate than those above it. And with the epidemic not slowing down, it's clear that there are more uh, that we need to do. There weren't any faculties or facilities dedicated to the treatment of children until the mid 19th century. They were treated at home, and if that wasn't an option for families, children were sent to municipal almshouses or days. National Health Day or Child Health Day became a day of observance in 1928 when President Calvin Coolidge issued a proclamation for the day and Congress enacted it. In 1939, Child Health Day slogan was "The health of the child is the power of the nation." It was a throwback slogan. And you are what you eat. So child eating habits or adult eating habits should include fruits and vegetables, whole grains, low fat dairy products, proteins, and cells. As far as possible, avoid meat or meat products. And many everyday kids snacks are surprisingly unhealthy, and junk food like applesauce and etc. So a good diet can improve academic experience that we have seen many times. So healthy food, healthy brain, and more opportunities. An estimated of 82% of the children in the US are in global. And an estimated of 82% of children in the US are in good health condition. And today is also Labor Day in Australia. So Australian Labor Day draws its origin from the 8-hour day movement, which is celebrated on different dates in different states, and it's commemoratively every first Monday of October. On this year, third in South Wales, ACT, and South Australia. Northern Territory and Queensland celebrate their every first Monday of May, while it occurs second Monday of March in Tasmania and Victoria. And Australians were the first to achieve a reduction in working time without a salary cut. Although the success of 8-hour movement, uh, Australia inspired workers. Labor Day stems from a struggle to obtain fairer working conditions for workers in Australia. It recognized the need to empower workers who are very backbone of every economy. Labor Day is an encompassing term for the different days when the struggle for shorter working hours is celebrated in Australia. Labor Day parades are still done every year around March, May, and October to appreciate the union struggles for every Australian worker. And workers get to take the day off from work as it is also a public holiday. Today is also National Consignment Day. Like everyone that likes to be on trend and still live green, National Consignment Day held on first Monday in October each year on October 3rd this year is encourages people to sell items we no longer use or want to consignment stores. You as if the and the consignment store makes some money and someone gets to ethically buy and utilize a gently used item. So the container store is the sort of place where people bring in items to sell at a fraction of original price. And they display the items in the consignment store for a pre-arranged number of days and are paid a certain amount of the selling price. The rest goes to the store. After the product sells, such stores stock clothing, home goods, art, furniture, and even books. But before the US had such stores, there were thrift shops, and before that, push carts. The Industrial Revolution was responsible for granting accessibility to a lot of items, and clothing was one of them. Not only did production increase, but pricing also dropped, and buying power was at an all time high back. Unfortunately, this is also increased. So people buying from these shops, consignment shops, are seen as low class and tasteless. Newspapers include inferences about dangers of purchasing anything from these carts. Towards the end of 19th century, religious groups jumped on this bandwagon, seeing an opportunity to raise funds by reselling items. So, with the seal of approval from uh, and the fact that donating made people more charitable, the idea of donating and using used goods became more palatable to the general population. By the 1950s, consignment stores appeared across the US and existed alongside thrift stores. While they both sold used items, thrift stores were largely not for profit, while consignment stores paid the owner for the items they have bought in and if they were sold. The word itself mainly means to give and something over and into the care of another person. And it likely come from, this day is also intended to bring the circular economy, an approach that benefits business, society, and the environment into the spotlight, sharing the beauty of such a way of living and also share details of your consentment to motivate more people to subscribe to this day and its celebration. And this week is also, this day is also known as we are commemorating Techies Day in US. It is a day of celebration to bring the light the many opportunities youngsters can take advantage in the technology industry. The 21st century can be defined under one banner. We haven't even reached the quarter century mark, and already we have gone from bulky and heavy computers to sleek and light laptops. There are printers that can print 3D materials, and some computers to sleek and which have already been used to create sustainable and environmentally friendly buildings and items. In coming years, the experts have already appreciated that. In fact, today's climate change for everyone, high-tech job, four more are automatically created to bring attention to the fast-growing technology industry. National Techies Day can be commemorated. Actually, National Techies Day was created by CNT Networks, Computer Networking Technology, and Techies.com in 1999. The former is a company specializing in storage network solutions, which is later used to be a job website focusing on connecting aspiring candidates with the right job postings in technological industry. The main purpose of inverting the day was to raise awareness about the various technological careers youngsters could choose from. The industry has grown tremendously in the last 100 years. But if we were to go back right to the industry that has start of human civilization, will truly come to realize how far the human species have come. And technology comes from the Greek words technique, means arts or craft, and logos means words. In the beginning, the word technology was used to refer discourse on applied arts. It wasn't until recently, namely the 20th century, that technology was being used to refer to a number of applied science projects related to concepts and process. So human beings started using science and the sources available to them more than 3 million years ago, albeit with simpler technological terms like knives, clubs, and fires. Gradually, miscellaneous things like effort, water, food, and sewage systems, cars, trains, ships, cooking stoves, and they started becoming more and more commonplace all around the world. Anthropologists and sociologists also take into account such technological process as a way to measure human civilization. Karl Lenski, an American sociologist, states that a good way to understand societal advancement is how information travels through it in terms of technology, and social advancement is how information travels through in terms of technology and brings back to national techie state. If we want our society to go in a positive direction, we must encourage the young people around us to get into the arena that will not only bring them closer to success, but also will be a way of bringing the rest of the world. So different amounts of ink for different amount fonts and different shapes and sizes. Literally, uh, fonts have different shapes and sizes, and it is theorized that the amount of ink used by printer will be different for different fonts due to an individual font size, embellishments, and design. So during the period of typewriters, the designers came up with the QWERTY design by placing commonly used letters apart from each other in order to slow down types. And using the period of typewriters, the designer came up with the QWERTY design by placing commonly used letters apart from each other in order to slow down typers who fast typing would make the buttons get stuck. And computers are not as powerful as human brain. Computers are fast and powerful, but they cannot compete with the human brain, as that would mean a computer doing 38,000 million operations per second and hold some 3,588 terabytes of memory. The name Google comes from the name for the cardinal number, Google, which is essentially just one followed by 100 zeros, signifying unlimited information. And the 3D printing technology is not new as you might think. In fact, it was invented long back and especially in recent 1980s and was known as rapid prototyping. And today is also commemorated as World Architecture Day. To appreciate great architectural works of the ancient and modern worlds and the super brilliant people who designed them. Also stay updated with the real estate transformation through architectural engineering from top real estate journalists. And you can also believe that this great pyramids built over 4,000 years ago is only great world wonder still standing. And we can also imagine the brilliance of Egyptian guitar can be. Architecture is not only limited to buildings but encompasses every aspect of human life and is essential to our development as a race. The history of architecture is the history of humankind. They are interlinked. With successive changes in architecture comes development in our culture, tradition, commerce, technology, and intellectual property. The first architecture era of renown is the Neolithic period. Was between 10,000 years to 2000 BC. The structures of this era were usually rectangular and dwellings were built in independently of each other, and the Neolithic architecture was excellent. You can share your details. Postmodernism is an architectural style that is quickly gaining acceptance in the 21st century, of which the team Disney building and dancing houses are examples. 3D printing and sustainable architecture are styles predicted to dominate the architecture sceneries for years. In 1985, the International Union of Architects created World Architect Day to remind the world of its responsibility for the future of the human habitat. The day perfectly coincides with and in 1985, the International Union of Architects created World Architect Day to remind the world of its responsibility for the future and human habitat. And this day perfectly coincides with the World Habitat Day. And Frank Lloyd Wright is considered the world's greatest architect in the West. He designed over 1,000 structures and completed more than 500 of them. He was known for his innovative detailing and concept of organic and natural forms. Norman Foster or Foster and Partners is the highest paid architect with a yearly earning of 2 million euros. The youngsters and the future it is important that we guide them to the right pathways in order for them to reap the benefits. In the next decade or so, the technology space will continue to grow and grow, creating more and more jobs, many of which we cannot comprehend at this stage. So this is why it is very important to prepare the young people at an early age. Many sociologists believe that the technological advancements are evidence of societal advancements by default. The information that is being passed from point A to B is necessary for growth and betterment. By passing information around, we'll be able to get newer perspectives sooner, solve a problem sooner, and enjoy the benefits soon. And today is also National Unity Day in Germany. Commemorate the unification of Federal Republic of Germany and the German Democratic Republic into a single federal Germany on the same date in 1990. So a public holiday characterized by concerts, communal meals, speeches by politicians, and fireworks. After World War II, Germany was divided into 4 military sectors, each controlled by France, the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union. In 1949, the Federal Republic of Germany was formed, and on October 7th of the same year, the German Democratic Republic, also known as DRR, a Dutch Democratic Republic, was formed. The political tensions in post-war Europe did not allow much interaction between the people of two countries. The DRR exercised strong resistance against repression of its political opponents. Thousands of people were kept under surveillance by the German police. On September 4th, 1989, a peaceful protest was carried out by the people of Leipzig against DRR government. More such demonstrations in other DRR cities took place, calling for political reforms and opening the borders. And on November 9th that year, the checkpoints between two German countries were opened and people could travel freely once more. This date marked the fall of Berlin Wall. And democratic elections further paved the way for the people to come together in the DRR. Finally, in August 1990, the leaders of both countries signed the Treaty of Unification, and Germany's unification was made official on October 3, 1990. The Berlin Wall and the Brandenburg Gate are two very important symbols of Germany's division and the unification of Germany in 1990. Images of both these are put on display on German Unity Day all across Germany. The day is celebrated as a 3-day festival around the Brandenburg Gate and the Reichstag around the Platz der Republik. So finally, we'll conclude by this last commemoration. Today, as we know, we all are celebrating Durgashtami or Mahashtami with zeal and intensity and fervor, where the 10-armed goddesses riding the lion is revered, and even goddess Durga's weapons. These 10 weapons were worshipped, and while chanting mantras in a ritual, especially called as Ayudha Puja or Astra Puja today. And Ashtami is the festival 8th day. We are celebrating Navaratri, and today being 8th day. And on this auspicious day, we keep a strict fast, or either we have a feast and worship goddess Durga, who represents power, and massive statues of goddess Durga are built around the country, and Jain Puja Mandap, Puja Pandals are set up at various locations for devotees to attend and worship in a celebration of traditional culture and rituals. Also, temples offer special prayers and organize cultural events along with rituals where one can attend and seek the blessings of goddess Durga and Shakti. One of the most significant and cherished Hindu holidays is Dashera or Durgashtami, Mahanavami or Vijayadashami, and also known as Navaratri. And this event entails the ceremonial adoration of goddess Durga in 9 forms over 9 nights or 9 days, and is observed in varied ways throughout India and world. This event takes place in the month of Ashwina, which is usually September to October, and it is very well known not just in India but also in neighboring nations. Durgashtami ceremonies last 10 days, with the first and last 5 days being special festivals that are being observed as public holidays in several Indian states. Durgashtami commemorates goddess Durga triumph over Mahishasura, the terrible buffalo monster. According to the legend, Mahishasura could only be vanquished by a female fighter due to a blessing given to him by Lord Brahma. The Holy Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, formed Durga, when Lord Indra was defeated on the battlefield and each portion of her body was gifted with the energy of various male gods. Durgashtami used her trident to vanquish Mahishasura on this day using weapons that signified their manly might. One of the many reasons why this celebration is so popular is to obtain goddesses' blessings in the hopes of gaining health, wealth, success, and wisdom, knowledge. Every Indian holiday has a deep connection and importance concerning, purchasing investment savings such as gold, silver, and other precious metals, and even lands. So this contributes to the nation development, and lot of trades and lot of people belonging to different trades get an opportunity and also livelihood, who are entirely dependent on the festivals. And there are various scientific reasons behind every ritual that helps us to maintain health and well-being, and also promote sustainable practices that promote, commerce and also business, along with cultural activities and many physical and spiritual benefits. And we all know Goddess Durga is regarded as the feminine embodiment of power. And she is portrayed in various Vedic texts as a goddess with feminine might, power, determination, wisdom, and retribution that extends far beyond this earthly realm. And since today we are celebrating Astra Puja or Ayudha Puja or worshipping of weapons, generally we place all our weapons or even our vehicles, or for that matter, even our systems or laptops, for that, whatever weapons or tools we are using, we keep in the prayer, and we seek the blessings, that because they are the ones which through which we accomplish, through which we do our work, and through which we gain our success. So we keep them, we clean them and keep them, and do puja for them, because with their support and through them, we are making a huge success and health, well-being, and also a living out of it. So this is a very just occasion to express gratitude and also revere them on this day. And this day also commemorates the victory of good over evil. And this is a sentiment that is shared by almost everyone. Even if you aren't a Hindu or Indian, or wishing others as well on this day would be much appreciated by your friends or acquaintances who observe this holy festival. Because victory of good over evil is universal and is not related to any particular religion or community. And the narrative of Mahishasura and Ravana's killing is one of the most youngsters enjoy hearing. Both adults and children will enjoy reading the epic Ramayana. So this is a very pertinent day where you can read about Ramayana, or tell about Ramayana to others, or organize a discourse so that we can share the knowledge and rejoice the epic. And though it is not an epic, it is a reality, but we term it generally because all of this English language is also Western, and we are following them, and they have their own, like they believe in Pokemon, which is not existing, and they don't believe in Rama or something like. So all these kind of, they don't believe in what actually is supposed to believe. In fact, many things are like that. And this is also a contrasting ceremony, and one of the many mind-blogging aspects of this puja is the eyes that are commonly thought as light roots. And they are very shining, even draws eyes into the darkness. And 10 hands signifies 10 weapons and numerous shaktis and powers, holding 10 weapons. And generally, all these idols are made of mud and clay, which is environment friendly. And the attendant goddesses and gods, 4 in total, are known as Ek Chala, that is one cover. And it is this mud or clay used to make these idols is taken from the banks of Ganges, that is Ganga, also known as Hooghly in West Bengal, and also from various other river banks of Ganges. And it is also believed that Goddess Durga is said to descend from heaven to her parents' home on earth on this occasion. So, as we know that the Goddess Durga was formed by the Holy Trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and each portion of her body was gifted with the energy of various male gods as a union. And it commemorates the triumph over good over evil, and it is about regaining our faith in everything good and moral. It is also about realizing the requirement of leading a true moral life devoid of worldly pleasures and wrongdoings is essential. Some individuals fast for 9 days while others eat special delicacies prepared exclusively for this event. And it is up to each individual to celebrate in their own unique way or as per the prescribed rituals. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. And if you have any queries, you can feel free to unmute and ask, or you can share in chat box. Or you can raise your hand also if you are unable to unmute. Yeah, there is a question. Neck of giraffe. Yeah, the survival of the fittest over the period. Yes, giraffe. For giraffe, it was the survival sake because of lot of unavailability of leaves, and because of tallest trees, and they were slowly, gradually. It did not happen overnight, but over the period of time, gradually the length of the neck has increased, and over evolutions, over generations, they have a long neck. Yeah. So if there are no queries, then we shall conclude it here. Yeah, you can unmute yourself now.
So why do female gods will take loads of time to bless than male gods?
There is nothing like that, no?
Sir, loads of testing and all, it takes more than years together.
No, nothing like that. Why do you feel so?
Sir, before to that, like I used to trust only male gods. So what panic towards female gods. But from starting 7 to 8 years, I'm sincerely dedicated towards only female gods. But I haven't seen any change, at least fraction of second
See,
also.
it's all in our, actually, basically, it's our manifestation. For that matter, no God gives anything, because it's everything connected to, we have a lineage, basically. So many religions, how they existed, if you know how these religions came into place. It was only just because of indifferences by different groups and communities. And they kept on creating their own gods. And, this is how new religions came. When you study about history of religions and how religions emerged, because that the indifferences of these people who disagreed, or they have their own understanding, so they wanted a different way of doing it. So that's how so many religions started, and that group has got detached, and they have a different name, or source of energy or identity. And that's how different religions. But it's the Sanatana Dharma, which is the oldest dharma. Even Hinduism was never there before, as the word Hindu or Hinduism was never there, only to differentiate between other religions, because there was no. And dharma is not, Sanatana Dharma is not a religion. It is a way of life, because there was no religion at that time. And it was only the way of life, to even to call a scientific way of living or life, that was the only way of life. But later on, as these people, because people have different tastes, different likes, different belief, for that matter, different opinions, so they got divided into groups, and they started creating. And even today also, we can see a lot of religions coming up. But certain religions have been established, and they have like a closed, they have maintained that control. And uh,
Close to community.
not, I would say, not close to communities. See, uh, again, this is a very different aspect. What does that close to community mean? I mean, how do we understand that?
Like closed community means only their group, I mean to say.
uh, that again, actually, it's like they promoted themselves as a group, actually, because this is a very big concept. I don't know how to explain in 1 minute, but like we form a group, and we
Okay.
come together, we form a group, and we are closely knitted in that group, and we protect our group, and we have certain rituals, certain norms, certain cultures and traditions, where we follow it, without any deviation. And these rules are very strict. That's why we have seen yesterday or day before yesterday, the blasphemy laws. You cannot question anything. In Hinduism, it's not like that. Or for that matter, it is being Sanatana Dharma. You can create your own God, or you can create your own way You can even troll, you can, you can treat God as your friend, as your husband, or your wife, or your son, or his daughter. Doesn't matter. That kind of freedom, you cannot see anything. You cannot question any other God in any other religion. You will be killed and on the spot. Do you see that kind of freedom in any religion?
No.
So, yeah, that's what, because they are surviving today because of only that. Otherwise, if this kind of freedom or this kind of, this was there, then they could have long back vanished or become extinct. Because of the strict rules and regulations, they were part of that group, and they were, catastrophized by the fear that if they do something, and they can face dire consequences, and they have no other option actually. In fact, that is how you can see now, they cannot even, no liberty, no freedom at time like we enjoy. This is quite evident. It's not that I am talking or someone is talking or not. It's very much clear. You can't see, even you can't see any movies also. We have a lot of movies making, good humor of our gods and goddesses. We enjoy that because
Yes.
we always have them in our heart, no matter,
Yes.
because we treat them as friends, we treat them as our brothers and sisters, and we treat them family. That's why we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Even gods are also, because they are our ancestors, and we came from lineage of same family, Surya Vamsha and Rama. These all, like, we all belong to Saptarishis. That is, we all are belonging to the same family. So that's why we treat them as we like to, or as we believe, as we feel like so. So that kind of freedom you cannot see in any other religion for that matter. So this is, they have a very strict kind of thing. It's like a do or die. You cannot deviate, or you cannot, very strict kind of thing. And
We should accept and digest.
yeah, I mean, they have a different thing. It's not that it is none of our business in the very first place,
Yes.
but they follow something. It's like, I like apple, you like banana. It's okay, fine. I eat banana. Sorry, I may eat banana.
Apple.
So in a similar way, it's all about different interests, different uh, like that. But that's why we have 33 crore gods. Means everyone can create a god. If you don't like existing gods, you can create your own god. There is nothing wrong in it, as far as you are connected, associated with the supreme thing. Even we have that notion, even those gods have also given birth to children, and now there may be 99 crore gods also, or 99 crore. So that's also possible. We can imagine anything, because all our gods has taken human forms, because they also, because we all belong to them. Na? We all are one family. That's why
Exactly.
Rama,
Everywhere.
Krishna, everyone, all these avatars, incarnations, even every human being or every species on the planet is treated equally. No other religion treats
Yes.
them equally, because we had incarnation of Vamana, um, and
Yeah.
tortoise, bear. What does it mean? That is, we all are equal souls, irrespective of the form we take. Either we have Naimisharanya. That
Yes.
means the Lord has taken in the form of forest, mountains, trees. So everything is manifestation of God and
God's
God
creation.
only.
God's creation.
So there is nothing, nowhere that God is not there. Everywhere God is there, omnipotent, omniscient, and He is everywhere.
Yes.
He or she, whatever form he take, there actually God is not he or she. It's it's a neutral. So we assume that we both, because we only created gods as such,
Yes.
based on our own imaginations. And yes, of course, they are realities, because nature has provided as such men and women. So similarly, God has manifested in both forms, as a man as well as woman. See here, Goddess Shakti, who is he? Parvati, Saraswati, and Lakshmi Devi. Who are
Lakshmi
they?
Devi.
They are the manifestation of Vishnu, Parvati, and Brahma. So
Yes.
there is nothing like male or female. They are the males and they are the females. They have different manifestations. And Goddess Shakti is union of all these three and three, six people. Na?
Yes, yes.
Basically three people. But again, when we look into
Divided. Yeah.
manifestation, it is the holistic understanding is that it is the union of all. So that's why the problem here is we don't know. There is no one to tell us. Even if someone is telling also, there are many people who are organizing discourses, pravachanams. We are not even
Dharma
bothered.
Sandeha. Yes.
We are not even, this present generations are not even bothered. They are carried away by this, all this nonsense and rubbish, stupidity. No, because that is where we know our roots and that is the actual science where we belong to.
Yes, sir.
Where our DNA or RNA is, where our genetics is related to, because that is our lineage. No matter where you go, we have the Saptarishis. We all belong to the same DNA or
Yes.
RNA of Saptarishis. So even medically or genetically, you have to decode it and you have to understand to how, where the things has gone wrong and
Yes.
how the genetic mutation has taken place. So actually the entire gamut has gone wrong when vested people with their vested interests misinterpreted and created a lot of confusion and their
Yes.
own,
It happens.
making them popular or whatnot, all the stupidity came into place. And today we have distorted history also, distorted literature, and even Vedas are misinterpreted, and a lot of fools have their own understanding of about this. Even they don't even have read them, but
Yes.
they talk like they have an authority on them. So
Without knowing anything about the
yeah,
thing of
what
the
I
book.
they have that to speak it. At least you have to study now. After studying, maybe you
We'll
will
get
have
some clue.
misunderstood, but even misunderstanding also should happen. For that also
Yes.
you have to study now. But there are
Yes.
many fools and idiots across the planet, not only here. Those I don't know how do they justify themselves without having studied or without having understood. They misinterpret, and the world is full of fools. That's why we say it's okay. Whatever you like, you follow. Whatever you like, you practice. Doesn't matter as long as you respect each and everyone's. Because if you like something, you follow, you eat, you practice. That's fine. But
Yes,
you
sir.
should not go against someone else. And when you talk about freedom, freedom doesn't only applies to you. Freedom applies to other person also.
Yes.
Then when you are uh, you know going against their freedom, then your freedom is also at stake.
Yes, sir.
So these all things, people think that freedom of speech and expression is only for them. It is not absolute. So it also has limitations. You cannot go and hurt sentiments and make fun of everyone and say it is my freedom of speech.
Yes,
This
sir.
hate speech and all has to be controlled. But unfortunately, majority of us, majority of us are, very tolerant, peaceful people. So we leave it to their karma. So they will pay for their deeds, and that's why we are not so particular in that.
Yes,
Otherwise,
sir.
you see in other communities or other things where they don't even have tolerate, very highly intolerable, highly, so maybe these people actually everyone knows about it. In fact, but we have been taught from generations to be patient, to be non-violence, all these things. So we don't react like them. We just respond, and often even do not respond to them. So
Yes, sir.
that makes us, till even today, we are being appreciated only because of that. If we are also same like intolerable, impatient like them, today no other religion could have existed. So even they also know that, because being the first religion, if you are the only person and you keep dominating, definitely no other person will come up.
Yes,
And this everyone knows. It is an open fact and open secret. There is nothing to hide or nothing that you cannot say. So if someone is given you opportunity, someone has allowed you, that's why only who were already in power, or who were controlling, then only you got opportunity. Now you should not exploit and take over, try to take over, and what kind of a person you are, or what kind of a personality you are. Then you talk about freedom and you only violate them. And this is what happening in this world today. Why hatred? Why violence? Because you are not sitting at your place and you are trying to disturb the entire harmony and peace. And you yourself call as a peaceful, or highly peaceful, or so-called peaceful. And you are the ones who create you know violence and unrest, and you talk about peace. This is kind of, these are the people who create actually problems in a peaceful society, with lot of conflicts and lot of these things. So this everyone knows. Someone talks, whether someone says or talks, it doesn't matter, everyone knows about it. When they have a mission set, they have an agenda, so it is very much clear. And there is nothing that uh, to deny it, or to accept it. Everyone is working on their own vested interest. And finally, whatever has to prevail, it will prevail. And whatever, like, it is a cycle, Now people are seeing moving to traditional methods, and like every, belief system has seen fall and rise. And we have seen, though we also say, there is a rise only to fall. So maybe this is rising to see the fall. So time will, give all answers for us. But our duty is to follow what our ancestors gave us, the rich knowledge and tradition, lineage, and it's our interest, better health and well-being we have been given and granted. Uh, we are blessed with, in fact. See, we are connected to them. That's why we can reap those benefits. Today, we are talking about, see, many people, especially in spiritual counseling or religious counseling, which I also do, religious counseling, Vedic counseling, spiritual counseling. There many people come and ask what I have did. I have done nothing. I have did all good deeds. But like you inherited your wealth, maybe your parents or maybe your siblings or maybe your forefathers have done something wrong. That's why they have gone without reaping them. So now it's your turn. If they are leaving you wealth, you are not acquiring them. Are you discarding them? You are taking them. You are fighting for them. Then you have to fight. Take this also. You cannot escape. That's why we call karma. Karma concept is a very big concept, very complex concept, and also a very easy concept. So you cannot escape karma. Everyone, there is no escape from karma. Either you deserve, or your children will deserve. There is no escape. And we all, either today we are happy because of our doings, and or our family doings, or our, ancestry doings, and we are suffering because of their bad doings or our doings. So it will all manifest, because it's all part of our DNA and RNA. It's the memory that carries, and it's the soul keeps remain. It keeps changes the body, and that soul keeps the account of everything, the good and bad aspect account. So whichever body the soul takes it up, it has to carry, it has to bear that fruits. You cannot escape no matter what you do. Though we have a lot of rituals, that's why people, every birth gives you a lot of opportunity to nullify, to decrease, or to get away from this bad karma. But, we are not into that business, or we are never bothered about those things. And we again talk about so much lies. We talk about gossiping. We do a lot of gossiping. We do a lot of hate speech and, backstabbing, back talking, and all these all add to bad karma. And again, you say, I haven't done anything. So what is this, all these things? You mind your own business. I will mind my own business. That itself, keeps us away from karma. And you don't take account of anything. I should not come here or somewhere and go and say, only because of this entire credit goes to me. But you are not alone. The entire universe is working for your success. So you cannot say that you are in isolation and say, today something happens, you blame God or blame your parent or spouse or wife or husband or children or someone. When you fail and when you become successful, you take credit of entirely to yours, and you claim yourself as, because of me, my hard work, my efforts, only I am successful. When you fail, you blame everyone from yourself to entire gods also you blame. Then why? So because of this only we are acquiring more and more of bad karma. Because when you are taking success to your head and heart, then you should also take your failure to your heart and head. But why you are not taking, why you are blaming others for your failure? So this is what, when you are successful, you take credit, and when you fail, you make accountable someone. All these lead to bad karma. So you have our duty. See, this day is also a day where we, whatever we do today or whatever we do every day, see, that's why we say work is worship. So whatever work we do, we have to do like a worship. We have to do like a prayer. That's how we are exempted from, attending prayers. That's why even women are also exempted from, doing rituals, because their main duty is to take care of family and take care of children. So first priority is that. Even if they take, that's why they say, half of the husband's, good karma comes to wife by default. So they need not, again do it. But if they do, again, that's a benefit. As equally, the 50% again goes to husband. So in similar way, both are benefiting. So that's an additional benefit where both can contribute to each other and also to the family. So in a similar way, we need to understand these concepts. Without understanding blindly, without having proper understanding of these concepts and constructs, we just keep blaming. And I can definitely say, if you do retrospection or introspection, you will know how many faults you have done, how many, bad karma you have done. Even karma or the yoga, what we call our karma yoga, gets, you do a lot of, you acquire a lot of bad karma or bad deeds, not just by doing, even by thinking also. If you think something bad about someone, then that will also that will add to your account to bad karma. So when you think of someone or talk about someone badly, or, when you blame someone without taking responsibility of yourself, then that also bad karma. This entire day we are gossiping about someone, talking about someone. So without minding our own business, then what will happen? Then someday you come up and say, I didn't do anything. Then what all this you have done? Is this not your karma? So that's why, mindfulness is very important. We need to be mindful of our thought, actions, behaviors, feelings, all will contribute to karma. So it is very essential for all of us to be mindful of what we are doing. We have to mind our own business. That's all. And whatever duty we have to do as a worship, and don't expect anything. Always we expect that this outcome will be there, definitely, whether you expect or not, that fruits will come, but you don't expect that this fruit will come, that fruit will come, I will bear this fruit, or, you don't worry about the outcome. You do your duty as it has to be done and leave the fruits to the God or to the karma, and it will give you whatever it has to give you, and whatever you have to be served, it will serve you. So, but how many people have this much understanding? They read all kind of religious material, and again at the end of the day they do all same thing. So no use of that. Even our scriptures has said, even if you study Vedas or Upanishads and again you don't follow them, you don't practice them, there is no point in them. So even similar even in Bible and Quran also they say, even if you study everything, even if you don't follow, then there is no point. You will not get any benefit from them. So the basic thing is here, you have to practice it. Not just by knowing or reading, it will give you benefit. Unless and until you practice it, you are not going to get the benefit. Unless and until you open your box, you open your gift, it is not going to work. Unless and until you open your brain, you are not going to be a wise person. So similarly, it is very important to understand these are abstract concepts basically, where we don't understand physical concepts properly. And these are abstract concepts, and our priorities are different. And this is a materialistic world, and we are running for money, power, position, status, and we don't even care also for other things. We want at any cost, we want, even at the cost of corruption, doing corruption, or at the cost of, stepping over others. Everything is fine, everything is part of the game. And nowadays people has become like that. So it's common for the suffering. Today, climate change, everyone is paying for that. Now, whom to blame? Even some few has immensely contributed, but everyone has to pay for that. So similarly, even if one person, like, I will tell you in a simple understanding, someone does some crime or kill someone, the entire family has to bear that, discrimination and, prejudice. So, not everyone can easily get away. So similarly, if someone does something, so that impact can be very huge might be on everyone, or might be on someone, or might be very limited. It depends on the act that we do, and what kind of impact it is going to create. So everything what we are is, what we have done in the past. Today what we are is because of the uh, karma we had done in the past by ourselves, our parents and our ancestors. And what is our responsibility, or what is our duty, is to, perform more good deeds, so that do more charity and do more so that our coming generations do not suffer, and that account doesn't go, or that the account doesn't increase for our future generations. That is what we all need to strive for. But what we are doing, we are accumulating more wealth, and we see we see many people who have acquired huge health, who huge properties, and they did not enjoy. Their children also were died in accidents, or they were spoiled child. And they are paying for that. And what is the use of you gaining so much wealth, and those generations and generations can sit without doing anything, and you have earned so much, but what is the use? They will know that they will not know the hard work, and they will think that everything is easy, and they will do all kind of things that put them into trouble. So they will not understand what life is in the very first place. So these are all things that are influencing us, these our thoughts, feelings, actions. With these also karma gets activated, and we get accounted for bad karma, good karma. That's why we always have to think positive, feel positive, and do positive things only. Productive things, constructive things. See, that's why, we have lots of quotes also say, our peace is more important. Forgiving is others for forgiving, or, uh, others is more important for our peace, because we should not get into that karmic cycle, and we should not earn bad karma by always remembering them, or remembering such places or acts, and cursing them or hating them, or you know speaking bad about them. That's why we need to learn how to let it off and be happy, so that we focus on our positive, constructive side. These all things are there, which it's not easy to tell in a few minutes or couple of minutes. Or you have to experience, you have to understand these complex systems, then only it will understand. You will, many people know about it. It doesn't, it's not like that no one knows about it, or, but, following it is what makes the difference. Practicing, implementing is it what makes the difference. Like wealth, money, all should be part of life, but they should not become the life. We need money because at the end of the day, we need to pay, we need to, we need some expenditure. So we have to earn, we have to save, but it's not that you have huge amount of wealth for yourself accumulated for generations and generations together, and you are depriving others, and you are not doing any charity also, so that will accumulate all bad karma. So these are various things, aspects, but not everyone, are mindful about that, though they know about it. So with this, we shall conclude. And I'm raising the feedback form for this session. Kindly fill up the feedback form. Feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. Dear friends, quickly fill up the feedback form. Dear friends, quickly fill up the feedback form. We'll be ending the meeting in 2-3 minutes.